Let me know when everybody's ready.
I'm up live.
Yep. All right. It's good afternoon, everyone. It's been a tough few days in our city. We had 3 officer-involved shootings, which resulted in the deaths of 3 suspects. So, just want to talk about what happened today. So, at 11:21 a.m., officers were dispatched to a robbery at Progress at a convenience store located at 3318 West Fuquay. The suspect had robbed the store at gunpoint. Once he left the store, he got into some kind of confrontation with a citizen outside of the store. Pistol whipped that citizen. At that time, officers were driving up. They saw the suspect holding the complainant at gunpoint. They gave him commands at that point to drop the weapon. He got on a bike and northbound on Alrover. Once he got to the 14,400 block of Alrover, that's where he lives. He sat on a bench. He still had the gun. Officers gave him commands repeatedly to drop the gun. At some point, he got up off the bench and advanced towards the officers. We had 3 officers discharged. One of the officers is actually a sergeant, 17-year veteran. One officer was 4 years, and the third officer has 2 years of seniority. They're assigned to Southwest Patrol. The officers are all right. Nobody sustained any injuries. The citizen outside of the store had minor injuries to his head. HFD treated him on the scene. So again, no officers were injured. The suspect, unfortunately, was pronounced dead on the scene. And I just will always talk about the human element. We want to pray for all of our officers, our citizens, and the families of all of these suspects. We never know what motivates a person, what's the motivation behind something like this, but it's tragic. And those are 3 tragedies over the weekend, and also other agencies in our region. We had, I think, 2 more officer-involved shooting scenes where, it's just tough right now on our officers, and we just ask for prayers for everybody. As you know, when we have the officer-involved shootings, the Special Investigative Unit with HPD conducts the criminal investigation. Internal Affairs will conduct an administrative investigation, and the District Attorney's Office will conduct their own independent investigation. And officers will be placed on administrative leave. So that's where we are right now, and we'll open up for questions.
Do we know who the suspect is? We heard that he lived in the neighborhood or may have had family.
Yes, he lives here in the neighborhood, and we have some information on him, but we're not going to release it at this time out of respect for his family. This just happened just a few hours ago, and we want to make sure everybody, and his family is notified and they don't see it over the news. But we'll be sending something out maybe later on tonight or tomorrow.
Hey, Chief, one of the neighbors told me that they saw this gentleman walking up and down the street several times, brandishing his firearm. Is there anything that, should neighbors had called? Is there anything that
We hope so, and I don't know if that would prevent this from happening because I did talk to a local pastor and my friend, Pastor Webster. He grew up on this street, and when I was younger, I remember, visiting his family and him on this street. But he said that the young man had said that he was going to give his life. Not young man, he's 45 years old, what I'm told, but he was going to dedicate his life to God. Came to his church, but he never returned. So, that's why I say through tragedy, we still have to pray for people. We don't know what's going on with them, and it's just really tragic. But I am proud of the officers, what they do, and not only HPD, all first responders, and keeping our city, keeping our region safe. It's a tough job.
With all of these officer-involved shootings, what does that say about the state of crime in this area?
I won't say any about this area particularly, and you look at any area, it's good people and it's a few bad people. And I don't even say that this guy, I don't want to put anything and pass judgment on him. It's wrong. for you to rob somebody at gunpoint and then pistol whip somebody. But what's driving? Is it mental illness? I don't know. But it's just evident that we all need to stick together, police and citizens, and make sure that we do everything that we can to make our city better and safer.
Chief, with the uptick in officer-involved shootings, not just here in the city but in the region, is there a pattern? Are we seeing an uptick in violence towards officers as well? I mean, what do you say?
I can tell you, and we can look at the stats nationally. You know, since COVID, there's been to me a disregard for law enforcement with some people, and this is what the message. We got to really make, I don't know his background or anything, but we really got to make sure that the courts and everybody else is doing everything that we can do. Violent people, there's a place for them. And if you are violent and you're suffering from mental illness, you're still violent, you know. So we need to try to get them the help that they need. But we really have to double back in making sure the entire criminal justice system is doing everything that we can do collectively to make our community safer. Go ahead.
Given what you've seen preliminarily, it looks like the officers that attempted to at least bring this to a peaceful conclusion.
Yes,
for a while?
that's what I've seen, and this is preliminary. Okay, still a lot of video and a lot of statements after an officer-involved shooting to go by. But what I've seen and what I've been told, they were very patient and trying to get him to drop the weapon and make another decision. But you know, when people make up their minds and they're committed to whatever act they're going to do, it's not too much you can do about it. It's just take cover and defend other innocent individuals. So, all right. Anything else? Thank y'all. All right.